worked in Serbia in a camp there for about 2 weeks, just on the border of Serbia and Macedonia, and they were coming through for a visa. And it was basically a transient visa to get them through. It would give them 3 days to be in the country to move on their way. And most were going up to Germany to then be repopulated. And part of what we did there was to provide food, to provide soup, hot tea. It was the middle of winter, very cold, and as well to bring some entertainment and some joy to the children. So I brought along my juggling balls, of course, and that was a lot of fun with the kids because their parents would wait in line for hours and hours and hours. And these children would just fall asleep sometimes. They would just be crying, exhausted. Many of them are wet. Many of them were hungry. And so we brought joy to these children through balloon animals, through juggling, through magic tricks, whatever we could do. And it was really neat because we were the only Christian organization in the camp itself, alongside of UNICEF, along with the Red Cross, along with doctors. But at first when we came there, the police had said, no, you can't be in the camp, stay outside the doors. But after just a few days of seeing how we helped the refugees, how we loved on that, we weren't just another organization to meet their physical needs, but really to show that we cared in that heart. They invited us to come in the camp. And so they would enter the camp, and they'd come right into our tent. And then they would get a cup of hot soup or hot tea. And because the nature of our work there was just so brief, they were just there a few hours generally, we found a lot of our ministry, if you could call it that, was to the police officers there. Because they were working shifts like we were, and many of the police spoke English as well. And so in the middle of the night, when we're at 2 a.m., when it's a slower moment, we'd be talking with the police, sharing stories, hearing about their families. And it was an incredible opportunity. And one night, our Spanish team challenged the Serbian police to a game of soccer, right there in the middle of the camp. And at first, they're like, no, we can't do it. But we antagonized them enough that they said, all right, we'll do it. Our guard's not here, our captain's not here. And then the captain came. And the captain played soccer too. It was incredible. These fully uniformed guards with their guns on them were playing football, playing soccer here in the camp with us. And it was just fantastic to see how God opened those doors for unity there. And as it worked out, the rotations changed and a new group of police officers came in that didn't know us. And that's when we got into a little bit of trouble. One of them saw me and he just took a disliking to me for whatever reason. I had my backpack on with my juggling clubs on it and stuff. And he said, hey, you, come here. I'm like, okay. And he couldn't really speak English, couldn't communicate, but found an interpreter, and he insisted I go through the metal detector and have all my stuff scanned, which is what they usually do for the refugees coming in. And the previous police had been really cool about it. They'd actually taken away knives and weapons from the refugees and given them to us as souvenirs, because they're our friends. But this guy had it out for me. And so we put my backpack through, and I had a little Leatherman's multi-tool on me. And he's like, no, you can't have this. And I'm like, I work in the kitchen. We need to open boxes. It's not a weapon. It's a tool, you know. But he's like, no. And he said, come with me. So he carried me into where the police station was. And there was my friend, the captain of the guard. And I'm like, hey, I need your help for a second. Can you come interpret for me? And sure enough, the captain's like, you know what? These are good people. These people are helping the refugees. We don't give them problems. They're our friends. We need to let them be here. And so they gave us full permission to take pictures, to work with them, to really share who we were. And it was just an incredible chance to be God's hands and feet there and provide this need for the refugees.